Hi there, this is Brad with Vintage Camper Rescue, and just a little more detailed video for those folks who've been asking about a lot of interest in this little trailer. So let's just go through some more finer details on this build. 1970 Cerro Scotty, a Sportsman Gaucho, which Gaucho means it has a little bed in the back thing. The box length is about 10 feet on this rig and about 3 feet on the front with the tongue, so about 13 feet. This thing weighs about 1,200 pounds, if that. So this can be towed with about any vehicle. I towed it with a Honda Element. We actually towed this behind a 67 Chevy Impala on an 8,000 mile road trip last spring to Texas and back from Seattle. Did fine. It even handled the Texas wind without even hardly a wiggle. It just cuts through the wind. So let's just kind of walk through the whole thing here. It's got the Jalous ladder door, which is pretty cool. I haven't seen a lot of those. And also the same types of windows. All the glass is intact. There are a couple punch list items that I'm going to do before this gets delivered, and I'll point those out as I go. It does have a Bargman lock. It will need a key made, and the key maker is about $150 for that, so I hope to have that made. Original skins, all been repainted with automotive grade paint, but it is the original skin, so it does show some of its age. You can kind of see some of the pit marks from 50 plus years of road driving, but it is sealed. There's no leaks in that. It's just it's a little bit of age. Brand new LED marker lights all the way around, front and rear, and LED backup lights, so that's been upgraded. It does have a new hitch, and a wheel is on the way from Vintage Trailer Supply. So we'll have a wheel on it. It's a 4-pin connection. It does not have air brakes because it is such a small and light trailer. A 2-inch ball mount, okay? Punch list, 2 new screens in the front. I have the screen frames being built as I record this. It does have shore power, so 120, regular plug-in power available inside with multiple plugs, which I'll point that out. This is a daylight drain for the sink. This is your water fill for the water tank. It does have a 15 or 20 gallon onboard water for the sink. Okay, like I said, LED backup light or LED lights. All new J rails on the whole unit. All new drip rails, and those that weren't new were just refreshed up and polished. So it's got a lot of the original stuff. It does have a luggage trunk compartment with a key. Wheels are in really good shape. They are fairly new. We did a trip on them. I don't know if you can see the threads, but there's my finger in the thread. So it's got super thick threads on them, so it's not an old nasty tire. The bearings have been all packed and redone. It does have the bearing buddies on there, so ready to roll. Of course, you still want to check it every few thousand miles if you're using it regularly. Coming inside height is just a little over 6 feet. Width is right about 75 inches. This is a twin, like XL twin size bed, so the bed's like 38 inches by about 75. It's got a sink unit in there. It's an electric 12 volt pump sink with the pump switch on it, so you can turn the pump off and on. Convection oven, so you can actually bake in this unit. We did not put gas back in, so there's no propane in this particular trailer. It does have a modern vintage style refrigerator. That in fact is brand new. That's also new, as you can probably tell just by looking at it. Cabinets all the way through. The dinette is really neat. The dinette will fold down into another bed if you like. My brother and his wife borrowed this with their Jeep, and 2 people slept in it with their dog. But anyway, they just borrowed it, and it worked out great for them. 12 volt lights all the way through. This thing can dry camp really nicely. The 12 volt lasts the entire weekend without any issues. You can also add solar if you wanted to at some point later. I think that's pretty much all the details I've been asked question wise. The framing, the front and the back was completely rebuilt, so the skins were actually pulled up. and all new framing put around the front and the rear windows. There is full documentation of this process, so you can kind of see how it was done. The sides on these Scotties are just 3/4 plywood. When I pulled and resealed all openings, the plywood around the windows was still dry and intact, so did not have to replace the plywood, which is fantastic. The metal frame on the trailer is good. Did not have to do the frame off. All the metal is intact. It's dry. No issues there. All right, and there's the ground. Okay, so that's just a more detailed 6-minute walkthrough of a lot of the questions that have been asked. Delivery, just so you know, is available pretty much nationwide. I'm semi-retired and I love driving these things around, so if you're interested, I can bring it to you. It's just a small per mile fee, one way from Seattle. So let's just keep it simple. All right, any other questions? Drop us a note, drop us a message. Thank you.